Tetristime is ready, night is ready. Good luck and have fun, y'all. Let's count you down for game number 1. In 3, 2, 1, Tetris. We got a bar, we got a T. This is the Classic Tetris League, and I am Arbaro. As we approach the end of our Season 30 division play. On the left side of your screen, out of Canada, a roller with an NTSC PB of 2.52 million. She is Knight, currently number 16 on the Premier poll. Now on the right side of your screen, out of the United States of America, a roller with an NTSC PB of 4.40 million. I don't know when he got that, but man. Number 17 on the Premier poll, he is Tetristime. So far, so good. Early on. A few extra burns for Tetristime. Coffee says, can you get rid of those Tetris sound effects? I hope so. Can you hear Tetris sounds? Oh my god, okay. I don't know why that's happening. It happens sometimes, it doesn't happen other times. I will do my best to try to get rid of them. I'm sorry, I can't really hear them on my end. Let's see. Don't top out. I have to solve an issue. Why is it making sounds? Okay, did they go away? Are the sounds still there? Okay, thank you. All right, well, we have figured out how OBS works. 186 to 126. Knight currently in the lead. Knight is sitting pretty in the standings. At 3-1, 19 points. This is her last match of the season. Going toe-to-toe with Eyeball, as well as Neko. So go get that 1 seed. She has actually made the playoffs, so doesn't really have anything to sweat here, but would rather have a higher seed than a lower seed. Would rather not have one of those really tough matchups in the first round. Especially since the other division has the likes of Blue Scooty and Pixel Andy and SV. Tetrastine fighting to stay in Div 1 here. Currently 0-3 in the season. This is his next to last match, so has to play Neko after this, which will be a very tough order. Not that Knight is any slouch, but it might be his last opportunity to get some points, catch up to Cole. He could probably nick a point off of Neko as well. 351 to 288. So far, so good for Knight as we get past the halfway mark to 19. Okay, so I think it turned out nice. Yeah, I muted it. So it did the thing. OBS does this thing sometimes where, like, at least my OBS, where, like, you'll have, like, an audio source and it'll be unmuted, but, like, the little bars that demonstrate how loud the thing is don't move. And that kind of happened to me, so sorry about that. Gonna blame it on OBS. But we figured it out, we got through it. TT setting him dirty, 2 off the bottom. Reopens the well, looking for the bar. And there it is. A little bit of a high left for a Knight, but it's something she can't handle. We're just gonna burn it down. Been restreaming a lot of DAS lately, so it's gonna reorient or kind of reset my expectations of how high boards are supposed to be. TT was there up pretty high for a second, had a lopsided board. We'll have a dig as a result. Now getting plasters with S's and Z's, and there's a drought exactly when he doesn't need it. He will keep himself alive, but Knight able to develop this lead further, now into 6 figures. Lombard Tetris 487 for her, 336 for Tetristime. DT will get a Tetris, 2 off the bottom. He's clean more or less now. Now he's actually clean. 20 lines to go until the transition. Hope you're all having a great Friday night. I think I'll have a great Friday night. It's almost time for Galwa to eat. It's dinner time after this. Really important time in the life of Galwa. Dinner time. The only time that even approaches it is breakfast time. It's one Tetris away from transitioning, going to nab it. Crosses over the 600k threshold, 605, so really solid 18 to start her game off, or her set off. Definitely noticing recently she's had a lot better of 18 play. Previously she was kind of just like a kill screen specialist, but I think the efficiency and like kind of the stacking is progressing really good for her. And it's paying off here. Still up 6 figures. TT's board a little bit gnarly. He's gonna drop it. Jay, not gonna get the bar over. I think that's it. TT gonna top out at 548. Knight, you are good for game number 1. GG's. In 3, 2, 1, Tetris. Ellen Arbaro will start us off. Going to the second game of the set. History between these two is extensive. This is the 17th match between them, which is crazy. Lots of CTL on there, lots of Gauntlet. First one coming in May of 2020. Pixel Andy raiding with the party at 36. Welcome in, everyone. You're just in time for game number 2 of Knight vs. TT. Hey, gamer. 3's2's in chat. Everyone say hi to 3's2's. Even if you're watching this on YouTube. I don't know if it's going on YouTube, but if you're watching this on YouTube, say hi to say hey gamer to 3's2's. Just throw it in the YouTube comments. Tight ball game so far. If you're just coming in, Knight's already made the playoffs. This is her last set of the season. TT wants to get a few points to avoid relegation. Currently fighting with Cole at the bottom of the div. There is one playoff relegation spot and one auto relegation spot. And he would rather not get auto relegated. It's just not a thing that he wants to have happen to him. Cole Bucket saying, let's go Knight. Yeah, we got a... Hi, Cole. Might have a little bit of a vested interest here. Now he's up a little high. She's going to take the burn, though. TT, a little bit of a log jam on his stack. Going to try to get this simmered down. Knight will take advantage. She's taking a lead. Up by a couple. 215 to 167. There's a Lombard calling 2 Tetris for TT. And just set up again. Going a little aggressive here. But no matter. He's going to get it. Good morning, Cole Bucket. I think that's what GM means. Also, you're not Cole Bucket, you're Cole. It's just that's your screen name. You'd be correct, you know. Shobagaja in chat. Sunny's position. Hello. Yes, that is Nick Arbaro Woods of NES Tetris fame. Sunny, you're in Scotland, isn't it? Like, what time is it there? It's like 5. Wait, hold on. I gotta get my. It's like 2:30 a.m. You're right. 3's is also British. I forgot about 3's Britishness. And TT is setting up very dirty here. And he's... Cam is stuttering, so we can't see exactly what it is, but he's going to play it safe and burn this down. He's going to get it clean again. Alright, we'll use the opportunity to develop a little bit more of a lead, though. Up by a couple. Not too huge. But, you know, you'd rather have the lead. 2, almost 3 Tetrises, though Tetristime does have 4 lines in pocket. When this TT's old stacking, he'd have maintained the dirty set for like 40 lines. Yeah, I mean... He's just mellowing out in his old age here. Is he a longtime community fixture? Good to see him. He is the CTWC Washington State Regional at the Mattress Firm Showplex in Puyallup, Washington champion. Granted, he's from Nevada, but Nick, when is our coaching session? Good question. Soon, hopefully. I'll let you know soon. Might be kind of busy this weekend, but we'll see. Maybe early next week. Make fun of my awful stacking. A nice little double there for Tetristime. Took care of his stack. He's going to cost the Joey Parker turn with 475, 538 for Knight, so not too shabby a pace for either player. Knight's kind of killing it, though. How is it 10 to 6? Yeah. Oh, Knight doesn't hit the T, or hasn't hit the J spin, and she's not super happy about it, but I think she'll be okay, hopefully, if the pieces come. Set up 2 off the bottom, column 9. Everyone's favorite setup, column 9. Just no problems at all with that. Nice little double. We'll reopen her well, and she'll get a bar. She'll get a Tetris. She's almost to 19 here. 572 to 526. Joey Parker turn. That's right. Do I know who Joey Parker is? Other than the fact that he's a Tetris player? No. Or he was a Tetris player. I don't know if he still plays Tetris. Probably every once in a while. TT's kind of up high. Transition soon. Probably not too much of a concern for rollers at this caliber, but yeah, he'll get it open in time. Knight's in at 628. TT's in at 561. And now we're off and running in post. So he says, whoever he is, he sure did turn at 100 lines. Yeah, so, Sonny, I watched your set against Miles. What happened? Why? Why did you play well? I demanded explanation. So, what, like a gazillion 1.5s in a row? What's going on here? Do we need to test you for PEDs? A little bit of a dig here for Knight, level 21. So, TT within shouting distance still. Knight holding on to a 1 or 2 Tetris lead. Doesn't quite get that J all the way over. Gets a T for a tuck, but left side still has a bar dependency. TT's board needs to be ironed out a little bit. Gets the right pieces for it. I'm going to drop while it's blocked when the bar comes. Knight's board a little iffy, but she was able to use the bar for a Tetris, so not quite as bad. She'll still have work to do, and TT is clean and scoring. One more bar and he'll catch up. There it is. CT takes the lead, 768 to 760. The Knight's almost out of it. So he says, well, sometimes your opponent is having a day, and sometimes that opponent is me. I'm glad that you have days sometimes. Sometimes the days happen. The fact that you have that in you, though, is so pretty cool. Knight setting up left well. Simul Tetris, though I'm not as, you know, a little bit of a stutter for TT's board, so I'm a little skeptical of the simulness of that Simul Tetris. I think there's a little adjustment in there. Had a very vertical board for a second, but he's fine. Both players on the verge of maxing out here. Or at least had the 900K. 955 for TT, 922 for Knight. About a 1 Tetris difference in favor of TT. This has been a close one so far. I don't think they were really tied for that much time, but like TT kind of took advantage of a little Knight dig and post, and Knight was in the lead for most of 18, but the lead was never all that big, so we're going to transition soon. Both players have maxed out. 1090 for TT, 1027 for Knight. You missed a good there. I think so. Yeah, sometimes I just miss words. Sometimes words are... Anyway, TT has a 1.1. He's looking for more. And there's a Lombard, there's a Tetris, has a bar dependency, but he's going to go in with an 1170. Knight goes in 1106. Both players with the 1.1 as we reach the final playable speed of NES Tetris. It's the final speed of unmodified NES Tetris. But we don't care about that anymore. We have molded the game to what we want it to be. TT is in a bit of a high up dig. Knight doesn't get a bar over, but the next one will go. TT holding on to a Tetris and a half lead here. 1197 to 1132. Gets a much needed bar. Gets another much needed bar. It looks like it went where it needed to go. Both players not really able to set up, but they are surviving. No player is now clean. 1140 to 1209. TT blocks the well before the bar comes, but both of them will score on 32. Knight doesn't get the S all the way over, but does get a Tetris. And it looks like this will clean up nicely, assuming she gets the pieces. There's another Tetris for TT, and he hits the 1.3, so we got ourselves a really good one here. 1305 to 1242. Still anyone's game here as we get deeper and deeper into 29. Knight with some really good rolls. Made that look easy. It was in a bit of a situation, but you wouldn't tell by how she's reacting. 1293 to 1408. TT just keeping the pressure on here. Now has a six-figure lead, though that doesn't quite matter as much here on these speeds. Level 35 for both players. TT needs a bar. Not going to get it. Going to have to take a few burns. I think Knight hung a bar, and TT's going to be done at 1418. Knight may not be too far behind him. She's going to top out of the same RNG sequence with 1360. Great game. TT will even up the set. One apiece. GG's. 3, 2, 1. Tetris. S Square will start us off. We just had an excellent game number 2. Let's see what game number 3 takes us. 1.4 versus 1.3. TT did have an early top in game 1, but more than made up for it in terms of viewership excitement in the second game. Have you considered sponsoring a Premier League team? That would be really cool just to see the TMP logo on like a Premier, maybe just like a lower league shirt. TT up a little high early on, not a lot of bars, fairly long drought, 25 pieces, but looks like he'll manage. She at least has the bar open. Sport's still a little high, but it's not going to matter too much. He is a professional. That's why he's not in TNP. 3 on the board for Knight, 2 for TT. TYOWC is joining John Green and supporting AFC Wimbledon, the Dons. I'm going to support MK Dons just to be a contrarian, except I'm not because Milton Keynes seems pretty, I don't know. I guess I shouldn't have strong opinions about various British cities. I don't really know a lot about Britain. I don't have the appropriate cultural context. It's like really funny how like just when teams are moved around in the UK, it's like seen as this like huge breach of trust. And it sucks a lot when it happens to the US, but it's also just kind of like a matter of course. Seattle's still waiting for the Sonics to come back. 170 to 148, 40 lines in. TT getting the pieces to make his stack less vertical. Yeah, kind of. A couple people are helping with the TMP stuff underneath the Scooty board on W Place. But DJ Mr. Burrow is being very helpful. Also, Sebi is throwing in some pixels. So, if you want to go to Stillwater, Oklahoma on wplace.live and help fill out the large TMP logo, we just need a bunch of people to like put in a bunch of black pixels now. Smooth sailing recently, though that it's not really what TT wants to see. He gets to talk, but board's still a little lopsided. We'll get the pieces to kind of flush it out, smooth it out. It's okay. I need to add card, yeah. If I finish with this, I have an idea of like maybe I'll do a little gawa, the gawa emojis next to it. That might be fun. We'll see though. That's still pretty far in the future. We got a lot of pixels to go here. There's a CTM match at 1 a.m. my time. Yeah, you know. What time is that? What time zone are you in? There's so much CTM happening. I think it's just the time of the month and also the... Hold on, I'll shut up while TT tries to get out of this dig. 362 to 339. Knight holding on to a lead still. It's just been very impressive this season. Alright, I think we're good to go. TT has as well reopened. Just like a bar, does have a hole in his stack, so I'm gonna just burn out of it again. Knight, a little bit of a misdrop there, but she can handle it. And TT is also digging, so she's not really gonna lose base. They both get open at about the same time. US Eastern. Oh wow, okay, yeah, that's pretty late. Subway 11. Sorry, midnight chicken sandwich time. So Vandy will be staying up late for that one, I guess. 4:44 to 4:05. He does say, like, you know, he says that, like, here's the thing with Vandy. He says that, oh yeah, schedule this whenever. But then, like, he grumbles so much when he has to, like, do a match at a weird hour. I don't know why, like, he does this. It's like, yeah, okay, like you have two players, like you have like someone from the Netherlands playing against someone from Singapore or whatever. You know, it's going to have to be in the middle of the night. Anyway. I'm not leaving this area unless I leave this country or there's a change U.S. government. But great clear, but yeah, no, that makes sense. Yeah, I'm also great set of friends. Great, I feel welcomed, and TT feels like he's in level 19 because he is. 446 to 537. Knight up a little high. Kind of an awkward stack for the transition. Gets the bar over. Didn't get the square all the way to the left, so that was a much needed bar. And it'll come. This is going to be survivable for her, but not really getting the best of RNG for her situation. TT's in at 575, sorry, 475, so Knight does have some lines in pocket. 586, goes into 19, still pretty high. This is much more manageable now. She will manage it. She's still holding on to a lead and still holding on to a level of lines in pocket. 597 to 507. And it does have a well open, but a bar would only score a single. And there it is. There's a single. Yes, she is set up now. 3 off the bottom. There it is. Lombard Tetris. Bribe Vandy. Sunny says, I want to get back into streaming good matches, but I don't want to use the CTL stream. I mean, it's not that big of a deal. I think the scene is also, like, not... I mean, it's, like, important visual presentation. But anyway, yeah. Yeah, I guess, like, a bad scene is not the be-all, end-all of... I don't think this is a bad scene. I'm not just an Adam Irish here. Knight up by almost 6 figures. Both players digging at the moment. Level 23. Minus principal. Ask Vandy to bring back challengers. Yeah, that's a stream Gauntlet. What other things are there to stream? You can do Das League. You can just like use whatever scene you want for that. You can do it on your own channel. And there's some really good players there. I had Tugi on my channel yesterday. 738 to 644, though TT might have a little bit of a time to... I was going to say TT might have a little bit of an opportunity to claw back some pace, but Knight set up dirty instead, so, you know. Level 25, level 29 is in 4 levels, I guess. So, I would say it's approaching, but not really. Sonny says, I do Das League when Hazel needs a restreamer on extremely short notice. You know what? Fair. But yeah, maybe the Das League playoffs. Those are soon, right? Or soonish. 810 to 806. All of a sudden, we got ourselves a tie ball game. Tetristime taking advantage of a Knight dig here early in. Sorry, late in post. Late in post is kind of... You see some pretty big swings late in post sometimes. This knight opts not to go aggressive there, reopens the center well, and she's going to score. She is still up and still has a few lines in pocket. TT now into level 28, hits the 900k. 2 more lines before the transition is set up for a Tetris. Or looking pretty good. He's going to go in with a 950. 951, still a few more lines to go before she goes into 29. Looks like game 3 will be the second one in a row where we hit the kill screen. There it is. Knight goes in 989. 968 for TT. TT's board needs a little TLC. Knight set up, looking to expand her lead. And there's the bar. There's the Tetris. There is the max out. 981 to 1036. Knight holding on to a lead, looking to play it safe, but also get set up here. TT is almost clean. Needs pieces to cooperate, though. Now Knight is set up, waiting for the bar. There it is, Lombard Tetris, but TT also scores. So we got ourselves a very tight game right now. 1091 to 1034. TT's left side looking a little iffy. Lombard triple. There's the Tetris for Knight, also kind of teetering on the brink of danger, but she gets the Tetris in time. Board kind of creeping up here. Lombard Tetris kind of overflipped the J, so did form a Lombard dependency. She will have to dig, but she has the lead here over 6 figures. So there are a couple of Tetrises that TT wasn't able to respond to. 1187 to 1074. Both players have gotten clean. Knight is set up. She's getting pieces, has a couple holes in her stack, going to get the Tetris anyway. TT now set up, waiting for the bar. We're getting deeper and deeper into post. Knight threatening the 1.3 here, not too far off from it. TT now at 1149, starting to run out of room here. There's a Tetris for Tetris time. There's a Tetris for Knight. She hits the 1.3, has elite score, 1337. TT hits the 1.2, is set up, waiting for the bar. There it is. Knight now level 36. We're getting closer and closer to the end of the moving walkway here. Tetris time on level 37. I don't know if he can do anything else here. Knight has the 1.4. TT's hanging in the back at a 1.2. Has 1261. Getting pieces over, but he's going to have to set up. He only has room for one more. There's a Lombard, there's a Tetris. He gets the 1.3, but he's not able to do anything else before hitting 39. And that means Knight's going to be good for game number 3. Hits the 1.5. She's going to go for their last Tetris. Maybe not anymore. Needs a bar for it. Bar ain't coming, but that's fine. She's got the 1.5, and she's got game number 3. GG's. In 3, 2, 1, Tetris. But Jay and the bar start us off. Imagine if they played level 15. That would take forever, and I don't want that to happen. Alright, we got game number 4 happening. Knight looking to seal this one. Looking to finish off her season here. TT looking for another game. Well, there are 2 games really to take the decider. Any point he can get is a good one. If he loses this set, it is no longer in... I guess like it's not really in his... Yeah. I get 5 points. If he wins the set, he'll move him up to 8. If he loses this one, things are no longer in his hands. He'll be hoping for a Cole defeat in order to avoid going down to Division 2. Both players perfect through 16. $115 to $136. What else is going on in this division? It's kind of a... It's like kind of wrapped up. I mean, I guess like most of the matches have been played, but other than the Cole versus Tetrastime relegation battle, not a whole lot going on. Like, people are jockeying for placement, but I think Sodium's pretty much... Sodium's locked into 4th place. So he'll be make the playoffs, but he'll have a hard first round match. Eyeball Sodium, Eyeball Knight and Neko are still, anyone could still get any position. Eyeball has 21 points, has yet to play Cole. So that's good news for TT is that Cole's remaining match is Eyeball. TT's remaining match though is Neko, so that's not exactly easy either. This one's pretty much tied up though. TT ahead by about a Tetris when the line counter is equal, a little less than. So Eyeball Knight and Neko still, all of them still have an opportunity to win. Division 1B is a little more sorry, kind of spaced out mid-sentence. Oh, Knight doesn't get that bar over. Next one will go. And she gets the Tetris. 3 off the bottom, left well. A little risky, but she manages it. It's probably not a huge risk for players of this caliber, but occasionally something happens. 355 to 412. So yeah, Division 1B. Scooty and Andy both have undefeated records, so first overall victor of the division, so very much up for grabs. SV always in the mix, currently sitting at 2-1, has yet to play Dengler and Andy. Dengler not having a great season. Portal and ID Kirby going to be fighting for the last playoff spot. Also, everyone either is in the playoffs or has a chance of getting relegated, which I think is funny. So 1B is going to kind of be a little more exciting down the line. TT doesn't care about that, though, because he needs the win. 415 to 489. Both players just kind of struggling with a pretty nasty RNG sequence. We're over 100, almost 100 lines in. Knight will go 100 lines in with that Tetris, goes at a 440. TT holding on to a lead. I think Division 2A is the exciting one. Absolute log jam at the top. 5 players still fighting for 2 promotion spots in a playoff promotion. Somalian, Guafi, Peak, Winner, and Mark all have a chance of going up. So that's going to be one to watch. In Division 2B, Hydrant Dude just absolutely sliced it up. Has been promoted. Critical almost promoted. As one more set against Oscar to go. TTN at 619. Knight in a 5. Knight not in yet. Has 1 line to go. Gonna get the Tetris. Goes up to 544. Maybe I should pay attention to this game instead of tell you what's going on in the standings. How's that sound? Yeah, we're up and running a 19 now. Kind of what Vandy does. Vandy just ignores 18, right? Not entirely. Already 15 true. You know, sometimes we all are ready 15. Mercifully, I don't think I had to play any 15-star games in this TMP season. Just finished it. I think it was like 4-8. Wasn't great. TT had a couple, I guess, like lost his rolling there for a second. And maybe lost his grip. A bunch of misdrops all in a row. He's going to get a long bar, and that's going to be a triple. That's going to help him get his stack down, but Knight looking to take advantage. She's clean and scoring. There we go. Lombard Tetris. She's within 6,000. Or within 7,000. Within 10,000. Not a great place for that Z, but she's making it work. Opts for the Tetris rather than the bar tuck. There we go. Like good as new, and Knight has taken the lead here. 740 to 696. TT rocking it center wall here. I'm going to stick with it. Had an opportunity to burn it down a little bit. Might be regretting that a little bit. Does get the Tetris, but we'll have to do some digging. Maybe not that much digging. Just like only like 2 or 3 burns. Never mind. 802 to 760. Maybe that's 791. Light up by a Tetris and a half. TT has 3 lines in pocket, so it's a close one. A little bit of a stair-step situation on TT's left side. Going to take care of it with a couple burns. Nice and, I want to say trouble, but it stacks higher than she wants it to be. I'm not getting the greatest of pieces for this. Going to get a bar, going to get a triple. Going to reopen that center not quite well. Bar down there is going to be a double. There it is. Going to get a triple, going to get the stack down. Knight's going to go up to 897. TT's at 901, so TT does take the lead, but it's close. TT also has about 6 lines in pocket. We're to level 27, so transition is looming. Alright, we'll Tetris into 28. Gonna get set up for one more Tetris. Pieces aren't quite cooperating, but finally is set up. Looking for the bar. It's a tuck of the J. Gonna take a triple, gonna Tetris in, goes in at 1023. TT is also maxed out, has one more Tetris to go before the transition. A little bit of an awkward approach, but going to get it cleaned up. 1020, still digging. Bar Tetris Knight, and all of a sudden she has a bit of a lead. TT's board falling apart, is surviving. Can he get out of this? Looking like it so far. A great dig so far, getting it down, gets that J all the way over. There's a triple, and TT's going to take another triple. He's out of it. What a dig. 1128 for Knight, 1061 for TT. TT's now set up and just piling pieces in the middle there. It pays off. He gets the Tetris. Knight's trying to be a little bit of a pickle. He's stuffed to the left side. Going to get the L for it. Kind of one of the less risky pieces to throw over there, but still not an easy task. And she's going to get clean as well. What's going on here? Just some excellent 29 survival from both parties here. Knight holding on to a lead, 1166 to 1130. There's a Tetris for Knight, and she breaks into the 1.2 zone. She's set up again, and she's going to score it. Tetristime's board in trouble. Not going to get the L over, and that's it. TT tops out at 1137. Knight is good for game number 4 and the set, and she ends her season on a high note. Not just with the 3-1 victory, but looking like she's going to go back 1.3s. So, not quite, maybe? Okay, can she keep this alive? Maybe I cursed it. Oh, no, I didn't. Never mind. 1291 gets the bar over. She's holding on. She's white knuckling it. 1299. There it is. Back 1.3s. Oh my god. What a game. All right. Great set from both of these players. Knight will take it 3-1. Let's give her her heart, and then let's go to the winner scene. There we go. Winner scene. Time for the winner scene. Nighttime. And she's sideways. Here's a sideways Knight, and she's the winner. And she'll end the season on 25 points. Which means if Eyeball loses his last match, Neko would need a sweep to tie her. So, you know, definitely top 3. There we go. GG's. Sideways car. Anyway. I'll get this reported in just a second. I'm going to raid out probably King because, you know.
Eight. And that's going to be it. Andy is good for game number 2. Oh my god. Oh, the hang. And that's going to do it. Andy.
Yep. SV is ready. So we have a ready from both players. And we are going to count this down in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, Tetris. And the Super Show is underway for this Sunday afternoon. 3 matches on tap for your viewing pleasure. And as is usual on a Toast stream, we love to get to know the players. And we will do that as Portal has a T-spin set up. I am looking to see. There is the T, there is the missed the T-spin, and we're already starting with the 20-plus piece drought. Lord Drop's going to have to wait. A drought incoming. That was over 20 pieces, about a 22-piecer. And for now, the drought has subsided. But going to get to know Portal a little bit. I've got a couple tidbits of info for him. Basically, Portal wants you to know that he's competed in CTM and CTL. Now, outside of Tetris, Portal is into CS2 and just finished Dead Space. Now, here's how old I am. I mean, I know CS2 Counter-Strike. Back when I was in college, we were playing the original Counter-Strike when it was just becoming a thing. And not only that, but we played at LAN parties. I don't know if the Gen Z crew knows what LAN parties are. I'm guessing y'all do. But that's what we had to do because reliable, fast internet was not a thing. So we'd all bring our computers over to somebody's house, hook them all up. For us, it was usually in one of our basements, and we would just basically play games all night. Counter-Strike, the old Medal of Honor, you name it. That was what we did. Now, we are a third of the way to transition. SV sitting at about a 510k pace as both players get a simultris, and Portal is on the same pace. So we are neck and neck. So yeah, just to wrap up that little bit about the good old days of LAN parties, that's what we did. We'd play games. I usually ended up being the one responsible for making food for the group, which is kind of ironic because I'm not a fan of cooking personally. I'm a fan of eating, but not a fan of making food. But I was usually the one doing all of the food prep for the LAN parties. But 'twas a good time, and I still hang out with those folks. So you make some good friends playing games online, as you've all learned. Anyway, SV with a little bit of burning to do. He is almost halfway to transition, as is Portal with a hey now on the Tetris rate. And now we are halfway. Hey now on the scoreboard for Sam. The hey now counter is rising. Shoutouts to Omen. And Sam Vaughn looking at about a 540k transition, and Portal at the halfway point was at about a 580k. So Portal looking to expand on this lead as SV is doing some more burning here. Sets up the long bar dependency, but it's not going to get a Tetris. All right. And actual score count right here. SV sitting at 288,000. Portal, of course, I give a score update. Portal gets a Tetris, 363k, and another one, 386k. Shoutouts to DJ Khaled getting another one. And this lead is now sitting at over 4 Tetrises, 5 Tetrises, as Portal's just throwing them down. 313k for SV, 431k for Portal. As we're coming up to 100 lines, we'll update that pace once again when we get there. And there is SV getting to the turn first, looking at about a 460k transition pace right now. Portal, not quite there, but will be with this Tetris, and looking at a 580,000 transition pace heading towards level 19. Both players on that collision course for the transition, and looking to do everything they can to get Tetrises before we make that switch, and the speeds get 50% faster. Now, as you may have inferred from the earlier messages in the chat, in Division 1 matches, players do have the option of choosing between a level 18 or a level 19 start. They also can choose if they want to increment the seed after every match or if they want to re-roll for everyone. And in this one, both players appear to have chosen level 18 and re-rolling for every match, or every game. So we'll get a new seed at the start of each individual game. 570k exactly for Portal, 478k for SV. SV's got one more Tetris before level 19. Portal, with that one, will have 2 more Tetrises in hand that could be had before the transition. But of course, that all depends on how much or how little both players end up burning. And SV transitions 525,000. Portal transitions at 641,000. A great pace in this first game of the series. And yet another one. Both players doing pretty good, although as mentioned, Portal is in, I don't want to call it a decisively because there's a lot of game left, but it is sizable. It's over 100,000, but nothing that can't be overcome by players of this caliber that you're seeing in Division 1. And another hey now on the board is Portal at 694,000 to 607,000 for SV. And now the Tetrises are raining down on both sides of the board. And now that we're on the level 19 speed, we get a Simul Tetris, and B, we can also start to figure out where these players sit in terms of pace to kill screen. Are they on max out pace is the question everyone wants to know, and in a handful of lines, I'll be able to give you an answer because they're coming up to a pace marker. And SV has made it, and SV is just below max out pace, probably looking at about a 990,000 into kill screen at his current pace, and Portal probably looking at about a 1.09 million kill screen pace based on the numbers I am showing on screen. So we've got a max out pace and an almost max out pace, but that is heading into level 29. These players, very kill screen capable, could get max outs in kill screen play. But this game has gotten a lot closer as I've yapped about paces. 862k for SV, 902,000 for Portal. And again, that's based on math in my head, Pines Cutely. So my math may be slightly off. I was trying to do math in my head based on what I saw on the screen. And I'm doing that based on score and line count and scoring potential, as opposed to straight Tetris rates. So mileage may vary. But we do have a max out on Portal side of the screen. Shake your cowbells, 1.008 million. And you know what? You're absolutely right. The math was not mathing on my end. I was looking one row down, and my numbers were absolutely off. So, yeah, absolutely max out pace, because both players do have the max out. So I see what I did wrong. We will fix it next time around. But another hey now. We're up to like 4 hey nows already. I'm sure Kingsman is absolutely loving it. 1.1 million for SV, 1.145 for Portal, who gets another Tetris, and we aren't even to kill screen yet. SV has one more Tetris to give, as does Portal, and SV transitions to kill screen, 1.176 million and 1.2 million for Portal. We are on to level 29. And at this speed, we are about 3 times faster than what you saw at the start of the game at level 18 speed. And SV has taken the lead